identified the condo I used to stay at in Rockport, Texas. So this is the condo. We used to stay there back in 2006, 7, and 8. I probably stayed there about 12 days over 4 trips going there. Mainly, I think we would go around September, August, or October, something like that. And we would go fishing. Linda's condo, the one that she owned at the time, was, let's see, it was like right there, that middle bottom one. That's what she owned when she sold it. I don't know how many years she owned it, but she didn't make a lot of money off of it. I think she just broke even. But these condos were more expensive because it's facing the water, the bay, the lagoon and the bay. The ocean is North Padre Island, and we went there too about 3 or 4 times, but we had to take a little ferry over to the ocean. But Rockport took a direct hit. And I always thought it just never hit Rockport. I mean, I knew there was a bad one that hit many, many years ago, because the old man at the little gift shop or whatever in Rockport, I think he was talking about a bad one that hit back like in the 40s or something like that. But, so I just didn't think it ever really hit, you know. I always thought they hit Florida, but never this area, you know, Rockport, Texas. And look, they had the worst one ever. The worst hurricane ever. And, so anyway, yeah, so somebody already took this video. And actually, a couple weeks ago, well, not long after the hurricane, of course I had it on my mind, Rockport, Texas. The aliens, they copycatted that. And it was a gray, I know it was. I felt him lurking around the bed and shit. So anyway, he gave me a virtual reality, lucid type of dream to Rockport. But it was kind of quick, so, you know, I'm not really going to talk about it, but it was cool. They take me everywhere. They take me to Romania, Rockport, Joplin. They took me to New York City. And you know what? I do remember that one enough where I could do a video on that one. I remember that one enough. And that was even before I started making videos. And I think that was even before I figured it out that they were responsible for all of these, you know, virtual reality, lucid dream, and the altered states of consciousness. They've taken me to Africa twice, England 3 times. I mean, like tonight, I could be thinking of Australia, and then boom, they take me to Australia in the altered state. But anyway, so this is the condo, and I can't remember the name of this condo complex. But I suspect, and see those when I was there, they must have put this fence up later. That fence wasn't there. All of these trees, these palm trees were there. I totally remember those, but this fence was not there when I used to go there between 2006, 7, and 8. And, but yeah, I suspect, I mean, it got major flooding on the bottom floor, so they're all probably jacked up. All of those condos are probably pretty much jacked up. There could be a few that were not touched, you know, in the back. But all these ones right here, probably all got flooded big time on the first floor. But yeah, I don't know much about hurricanes. I don't understand why it only tore this one up really, really bad. I wonder how deep it got. I suspect pretty deep, probably a few feet deep at least. All those condos on the, you know, the first floor right there. But we had so much fun, man. But like I say, Linda, she sold hers in 2010, so she didn't currently own it at the time of the hurricane. She said she sold it to an old couple, but I don't know if that old couple still owned it in 2017 or not. But yeah, and the last time I was there, they were building this big condo complex right there, but it was a vertical deep condo complex, not horizontal like this. And that tennis court wasn't there. They built that tennis court, I guess, for probably all of these condos and that new building that they built. But in this camera, whoever did this video, they're not going far enough. You can't see that new building. But yeah, we had fun, man. And we used to go eat at Charlotte Plumber's. And I think I did sort of identify it in one of these videos, but I'm not sure. I think it was a white building. And oh my God, man, they served you, shrimp that was just no older than an hour old. And I never had shrimp like that before, because when you eat it like at Red Lobster and stuff, it's nasty. But yeah, and I'm sure Charlotte Plumbers, got hit before by hurricanes, minor ones and major ones, because I know it was a very, very, very old building and they've been around at least 100 years. But so yeah, it probably did get hit, but I'm sure it was built pretty sturdy, so I'm sure they can rebuild it pretty easily. But look at this, man. I mean, like freaking toothpicks. And there was a gay guy couple. Now, this wasn't Linda's permanent home. She lived in Junction, Texas. She just came here, several times a year whenever she wanted to. But Linda told me, when she sold it, that she knew that there was a bad one was due, even though it didn't hit till 7 years later. But I just never thought hurricanes really hit, this part, or this, Texas area or whatever. And then they got jacked up, first time, or this bad, the first time ever in the history of this dimension. But the gay guys, there was a gay guy couple. This wasn't their permanent home either. They had a double level, and upstairs and downstairs, and theirs all got jacked up. They lived right there. And they did a lot of updates, and we went inside and everything. They had a little dog. They showed us their updates and stuff that they did to their condo. I don't know if they still owned it in 2017 or not. But they lived right there, man, and I don't know, I don't understand how the hurricane just screwed up that end of it. I don't know, I guess they move around like tornadoes. But I'm sure this whole bottom area got flooded big time, and look at the water, it's still over the street. It's still over the street right there, the water. Of course now it's probably not, but yeah, the lagoon was straight ahead. This condo complex is facing the water, so these condos would have been more expensive to buy, a little more expensive. But like I said, Linda she didn't really make a profit. She just kind of broke even when she sold it. But anyway, we had so much. Oh, and the pier? Yeah, the pier looks like it's completely gone. The pier is not there. They're gonna have to rebuild the pier. The pier, see, it looks like it's completely gone where that red car is. Yeah, see, that's where the gay guys lived right there. The pier right there, see, it looks like it's completely gone. And we would walk over, and fish and everything in the lagoon, and at the end of the T, where the pier, the pier, it looks like a T. And one night, we actually went fishing at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and we fished till 7 o'clock in the morning. And we had such a blast. But, and that was the night we had a lot of cool luck. Like, I caught this big, huge blue crab as big as a basketball. And also, it was Linda's pole, but she had it sitting over there in the little, well, she was fishing over there at the corner to the right of the pier. And I saw the dolphins over to the left, so I was like, Linda, come over here. I'm hearing the dolphins over here. And so she set her pole down in the little hole, dilly bobber, and she started hobbling, because she's like handicapped. She started hobbling, she's 77 years old now. She started hobbling over to me, and then I saw her pole like go like this, like, ooh, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I knew there was something on there. So I was like, Linda. And she was also very hard of hearing. So I ran over there and picked up the pole, and there was a freaking shark at the end of it. It was because the sharks, they'll eat anything on the bottom, and it's not very deep in that bay. You know, it's pretty damn shallow in that area of the bay or whatever. And she had those spick rigs or whatever, and so I guess the shark probably just thought it was real fish or shrimp or whatever. But anyway, it was a small shark. It was about I saw the ripple in the water. It was like maybe not quite 4. Well, it was about as let's see, I don't know, almost 3 feet. Yeah, I would say it was almost 3 feet long. And it was too heavy for me to reel in. I kept trying to reel it in and reel it in and reel it in, but I don't think I had the proper line on the end. So in a way, she actually caught it, not me, because it was on her pole. But I ran over there because I saw it. I could tell something was on the end of it, you know, because it was bending like crazy. And I was trying to reel it in and reel it in, and it was too damn heavy for me. And like I say, I think you're supposed to have a thick line if you're going to try to catch freaking sharks and shit. But this was just a small shark, like 3 feet. It could have been a redfish, but I don't think so. I think it was a small shark. Because I don't know if redfish, they do get big, but I don't know if they feed on the bottom. Well, they might, I don't know, but I still think it was a shark, a small shark. But redfish do get big. They get 3 or 4 feet long, redfish. And we did catch a big redfish previous to this trip. You know, pretty big redfishes. But so anyway, I tried to reel it in and reel it in, and it was too freaking heavy. I couldn't do it. I kept trying and trying and trying. And eventually, the shark, it took down, it took all my line out. And once all my line rolled out, well, actually, it was Linda's pole, but I had a hold of it. And the pole came up and hit me on the head. And I had like a bruise on my head because the shark finally, you know, it let out, it was so heavy it broke all my line, and my line all reeled out, unrolled or whatever. And so then that's when I saw the ripple in the water, and the ripple in the water was about as big as this freaking, you know, yardstick, which is I think 3 feet long. Well, anyway, it looked like it could have been at least 3 feet long. Who knows? Maybe it was freaking 4 feet long. But we had a lot of fun, and this is where the laundry facilities were, but she had her own washer, a dryer. She bought a stackable one. So we never did go to the laundry facilities. I never did do laundry anyway when I was there, but we had so much freaking fun, man. And I can't see it from this video, but there's a pool. The complex does have a pool, and we went swimming several times. It's back behind there, back behind that laundry facility somewhere, but in this video you can't see the pool. But yeah, this Rockport got jacked up really bad. Look, you can see the air conditioning units on top of the building. And like I say, they had a double story, the gay guys. Linda just had, hers was like 1,150 square feet, just one level. But yeah, it's really sad because, and look, that's already in the water, man. That just kind of already fell in the water, that little apartment complex or whatever. But yeah, it's really sad because, I mean, I just couldn't believe it got hit, you know, because I just didn't think of, you know, that area ever being hit by hurricanes. I always only thought Florida pretty much got hit. You know, 9 times out of 10. But let's see, there it was right there. I don't know what that red stuff is right there. On the bottom floor, that's where we stayed. But we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun when I lived in Texas. But this is kind of disturbing too. This guy on YouTube is talking about how they're killing people. Yeah, there's a lot of propaganda going on. You know, like they're showing you that little, that hawk, you know, oh, the little hawk that got caught, you know, but that's probably was all staged. And then, you know, they show you that house where the Mexican guy's running around trying to catch the fish. Like, like it's funny and shit. Like, that's all propaganda because they're fucking killing people. You know, whatever, government agencies. they're popping people center mass in the head and shit. I guess looters and even innocent people, and they're flooding them on purpose, or they did already fled them on purpose. You know, and they act like there's only 45 deaths from Hurricane Harvey, when this guy is clearly saying there's at least 1,000. That's all propaganda. But this is kind of disturbing. This guy right here. His name is I forgot, something baby, show me baby, or something like that. The killing fields of Hurricane Harvey. And also what was really disturbing was I saw in the comments of this guy's video, this one woman said, well, during Hurricane Katrina, my sister was a nurse and she had to take in all these dead bodies and they were freaking shot in the head. They all had a bullet wound to the head. And I assume they probably were all black people too. And maybe some of them were looters, I don't know, but that's not what they're acting like a lot of these people are innocent people that are being shot and shit. You know, just for the hell of it. And, you know, by government, you know, agencies or private contractors or whatever. And she said that she had to take in the dead bodies, and that she knows that they had to falsify the death records to say that they died from drowning. That was freaking disturbing. Okay, and see, he says, what, the killing fields of Hurricane Harvey? I know there's no way there could only be 45 deaths. And then you see all these videos where, I mean, they weren't even told to evacuate. Houston people weren't told to evacuate. And then you see all these neighborhoods that have these huge houses and the water is like fucking 13 feet high. Where are all those people? You know what I'm saying? They all freaking probably drowned, and they drowned and went out to sea like this guy says. And that they're not being counted in the official body count or whatever. And two, a lot of shit is being censored. Because like I say, I could punch in right now. What does Rockport, Texas look like today, September 25th? You won't find anything current. It's all from 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. You won't find anything current. And somebody made in the comments, you know, well, how come you're not seeing anything about missing people, like on Facebook? And this one person said, well, I did see one person that said their mom and sister was missing. And then somebody else, you know, went under the comment and said, because they're censoring all that shit. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I don't believe that for a second. You know, they act like there's only 45 deaths. I don't believe that for a second. But yeah, you should listen to this guy, Show Me Baby, the killing fields of Hurricane Harvey. Yeah, but that's disturbing. Because this shit can happen in any town, you know what I'm saying? Any kind of disaster, and they're just gonna like fucking shoot your ass for shits and grins, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're a victim of a tragedy and they're just treating you like a piece of meat, you know, because you're vulnerable and you don't have a home to go to and all that shit.
Today to tell my story, who are just trying to survive, catching people to many different locations. They wanted to make sure that we homes, there were people that were being shot and murdered. We later found out that the reason DPS was with us and wanted to make sure we were armed was because at least one of those gun stores had been taken over, and there was some pretty hardcore gang members that were using the arms that they had gotten. Crazy, and that's another reason why you want to be prepared. Our drive is going to take us 4 hours to get there. The Crossing Church in the Woodland. My security guy, invitations, people.
Well, anyway, he said that they broke the dams on purpose to, like, twice, just to flood out, you know, a lot of the people, and a lot of those people swam out, you know, or, you know, died from drowning, and they just swam out to sea. And of course, they're not being counted in the official body count and shit.